Our primetime destination news. Newsmakers' talking points are big. Talking point this Thursday night. The opposition claiming there's a witch hunt ahead of the general elections. Is it justified? From IT penalties to ED searches, CBI raids. We'll tell you more on that. Also, Governor Ananda Bose is among my special guests. The West Bengal governor will join us on the contentious and sensitive issue of Sandeshkhali. All that and more is coming up on the news today. But first, as always, it's time for the 9 headlines at 9. The Congress cries witch hunt by the BJP over an income tax crackdown, claims its accounts have now been frozen with 65 crores taken away to cripple them before the polls. The BJP says Congress evading taxes. Aam Aadmi Party and Congress close in on a seat-sharing pact. Sources say Congress offered 3 seats in Delhi, Haryana. Gujarat deal sealed. Punjab deadlock remains. Opposition now mounts pressure on the Modi government over the death of a youth at the Punjab border during the farmers' term. Modi government offers 5th round of talks to farmers. BJP ups the ante against the Mamata Banerjee government, releases a documentary on the Sandeshkhali horrors, demands an arrest of absconding TMC Neta Shajahan Sheikh. Manipur High Court withdraws its Meitei order that sparked wide tensions in the northeast region. Court's earlier order to include Meiteis in the scheduled tribes category modified. CBI now turns the heat on former Jammu and Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik. Probe agency raids over 30 locations in connection with an alleged hydroelectric scam. Satyapal Malik hits out, says agencies used to harass him because he spoke out against the Modi government. Siddaramaiah government changes Karnataka temple tax ceiling. BJP accuses the party of being anti-Hindu, asks why no tax on mosques. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah hits back, says facts being misrepresented by BJP for poll gain. Trouble brews for Baiju's founder Ravindran. Enforcement Directorate issues a lookout notice against him over alleged foreign exchange violations. The IPL schedule for the first 2 weeks is announced. Defending champion Chennai Super Kings to host Royal Challengers Bangalore in the opener on the 22nd of March. But the story that's breaking at the moment, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress have almost sealed their seat-sharing deal for Delhi, Gujarat and even Haryana. Aam Aadmi Party has agreed to give 3 of the 7 seats in Delhi to the Congress and will contest in 4. The Congress is also set to give 2 seats of Bhavnagar and Bharuch to Aam Aadmi Party in Gujarat. This could be the second big alliance sealed after yesterday. The Samajwadi Party and the Congress came to an agreement. So this could be another big step forward. That image that you're seeing, Mallikarjun Kharge, Arvind Kejriwal seem to have worked some kind of a deal. There is still a question mark over whether that deal could extend to certain other states as well, like Assam. But I'm joined by Preeti Chaudhary, who tracks the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress closely. Preeti, what are you picking up? Is this now almost signed, sealed and delivered?
Well, it does seem it's very close, Rajdeep. And as per my sources, the Aam Aadmi Party is now waiting for an official confirmation from the Congress. Both alliance committees of the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party met yesterday, and there has been a basic understanding yesterday that has been reached, and that understanding is of the 7 seats where Delhi was concerned earlier on, the Congress wanted 4. They have now ceded and they are okay with 3. The AAP gets 4 in the national of Delhi. Then interesting, because the Aam Aadmi Party had dug in its heels for the Union Territory of Chandigarh. They are okay to give it to the Congress, and that seat, at least right now, what the blueprint of this seat-sharing arrangement is, goes to the Congress. There has been a sticking point where Gujarat is concerned. Of the 26 seats, Bhavnagar and Bharuch are 2 seats which the Congress has given to the Aam Aadmi Party. There's continued strife on Bharuch because Ahmed Patel's daughter has been trying to cultivate that constituency as the legacy of her father. So there's a bit of a repercussion or resentment there. But of what I know, that the Aam Aadmi Party has been given the seat of Bharuch. Interestingly, in Goa, the Aam Aadmi Party had already announced a candidate. Now they're going to take back that candidate, and Goa seat will go to the Congress. Sam, they've been, at least by yesterday's meeting, have been promised one seat of the 14. And interesting to note, the state of Haryana, they're also promised one seat of 10, Rajdeep.
Okay, so it seems at the moment that there has been some progress on that alliance and an announcement expected by the weekend at the very latest. Preeti Chaudhary with those details. Let's turn from alliance politics to what is now becoming a running theme of the battle for 2024. The opposition is claiming that there is a political witch hunt by the Modi government to finish them. This has led to flashpoints, the latest being an income tax crackdown on the grand old party, with penalties being levied and allegedly amounts not just being frozen but being taken out of the account by the income tax department of 65 crores is what recovery of 65 crores. The Congress is claiming this is an attempt to cripple the opposition. Also, there have been raids today on Satyapal Malik, or searches of the CBI in connection with a alleged scam that took place in Jammu and Kashmir when he was governor. Malik has spoken out in the past against the Modi government on contentious issues like Pulwama, the terror strike. And you've got the centre now also in the context of Twitter, allegedly asking for accounts, some of which they say have been critical of the government, to be taken down, even suggesting imprisonment as a possible penalty. All of which leads to the big question: is the claim that there is a witch hunt justified or not? Take a look.
65.88 करोड़ अपनी स्वेच्छा से हमारे को एनएसयूआई के स्टूडेंट्स ने अपनी जेब खर्ची काट करके मेंबरशिप के माध्यम से क्राउड फंडिंग, जिसका 95% 100 रुपए से कम हम लोगों के पास में आया था, वो पैसा हम लोगों के बैंक अकाउंट में जो जमा था उस पे डाका डाल करके, चोरी करके वो पैसा मोदी सरकार अपने पास में लेकर के चली गई.
A week after the income tax department put a freeze on 115 crore rupees in bank accounts of the Congress and its youth wing, the party on Thursday said the taxmen had withdrawn 65 crore rupees from its accounts. The Congress claims that the tax crackdown is aimed at crippling the opposition ahead of the elections.
2024 के लोकसभा चुनाव के पहले प्रमुख विपक्ष पार्टी के खिलाफ ये कर आतंकवादी हमला हुआ है. इसका एक ही मकसद है, आर्थिक रूप से कांग्रेस पार्टी को अपंग बनाना, ताकि हम चुनाव नहीं लड़ पाए.
भ्रष्टाचार ही हमारा शिष्टाचार.
The BJP rejected the charges, claiming the Congress was evading taxes.
हमसे 200 करोड़ की वसूली की जा रही है. कानूनी प्रक्रिया को वसूली कह रहे हैं 200 करोड़ की. कहते हैं अधिकृत मंच से कि ये फाइनेंशियल टेररिज्म किया जा रहा है हमारे खिलाफ, कि वायलेशन तो कुछ लाखों रुपए का है, छोटा मोटा वायलेशन है. भाई इतना छोटा वायलेशन है तो इसमें क्या है सजा? जो टैक्स की प्रक्रिया जो आम लोगों पर, आप पर और मुझ पर लागू होती है, वो भी उसको वसूली लग रही है.
The Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, where the Congress had filed for relief, finished hearing the matter on Thursday and reserved its order. The Congress has claimed the tax probe is just one of the many attacks by the government on its critics. Party MPs Rahul Gandhi and Jairam Ramesh pointed to a statement by social media site X, which claimed that it was threatened with fines and imprisonment if it did not withhold certain accounts and posts. X stated that these posts are unavailable to users in India, which they can be accessed abroad. Congress MP Jairam Ramesh described the gag order as murder of democracy. Meanwhile, the CBI on Thursday carried out researches at properties linked to former Jammu and Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik in an alleged hydroelectric project scam. Malik has accused the CBI of going after the whistleblower instead of acting against the people he exposed. The Jat leader has been very critical of Prime Minister Narendra Modi over the last few years, even blaming the government's decision to not airlift CRPF Jawans as the reason for Pulwama terror attack in 2019. Bureau Report, India Today.
So let's raise the big questions tonight. Is the opposition justified in claiming a political witch hunt? Are agencies being misused, or is the law simply taking its course? Are we reaching a stage where there is simply no level playing field in the battle for 2024? Joining me now is Gaurav Bhatia, the BJP's senior spokesperson. Shama Mohammed is Congress spokesperson. And I'm also joined by Jai Prakash Narayan, founder of the anti-corruption Lok Satta movement. I appreciate all of you joining us. I want to come to you, Gaurav Bhatia, first, because the fact is very serious allegations are being made now about a political witch hunt, starting with the income tax penalty issue. Congress alleging that the Income Tax Department has arbitrarily and undemocratically withdrawn 65 crores from its bank accounts, even though the case pertaining to their IT returns is before a tribunal. Is the BJP or the Modi government trying to squeeze the opposition? CBI raids on a Satyapal Malik, ED raids on other leaders, and IT penalties.
Rajdeep, first of all, can you squeeze any party or object which is already flat on their face? The answer is no. You cannot squeeze anything out of a deflated balloon that the opposition and the corrupt Congress is. You say allegations are being made. You are a very senior journalist, Rajdeep. Allegations का क्या है? Allegations तो अरविंद केजरीवाल भी लगा रहे थे. Arvind Kejriwal was ordering the ED to recall the 7th summon, 5th summon, 4th summon. And do you know what happened in the court? In the court, a very categorical order has been passed and Arvind Kejriwal was asked to be present in the court. Similarly, I want to ask a few questions and also discuss a few facts with you. One, this political vendetta bogey is baseless. I'll tell you why. You remember 14 political parties in the opposition approached the Honorable Supreme Court. Did they succeed there? They had made a prayer that it is political vendetta. The Supreme Court dismissed their writ petition. And I think in the current constitutional scheme, the Honorable Supreme Court remains the supreme arbiter.
No, but is it not? No, but with
Is
due
it
regard,
not correct,
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia,
Rajdeep?
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, with due regard, is it not strange that a matter of 2018-19, suddenly the Income Tax Department just ahead of the elections is swooping in and saying, we want the 65 crores that is already in your bank account back. That's Satyapal Malik, who 9 months ago raised a red flag on the Modi government on certain issues. He is being searched when he claims he is the whistleblower in the case. Are we all supposed to believe that there is nothing to any of this, that this is all due process of the law, sir?
Okay. So Rajdeep, since you called me sir and I am a student of law, let me teach you some law. Political vendetta, if you allege it, you have to prove it in the court of law. And it's a valid ground for quashing the case, the FIR as well as the charge sheet. Now, when you talk about the IT department taking action now during elections, in your report I heard the IT-AT reserved its order. Did they stay the proceedings? Did they pass any direction ordering the Income Tax Department not to take any further action?
No,
the
but
answer
the government
is no.
could have, no, Mr.
So therefore,
Bhatia,
if
the IT department, no, 1 minute, sir.
Please,
The
don't
IT department
interrupt
could
me.
have waited
Rajiv,
for,
don't
no, the
interrupt
matters
me.
before the tribunal. The IT department could have waited. There seems to be an unusual urgency to somehow or the other fix the opposition, is what the charge is being made.
Rajdeep, I must tell you, you are a very, very naughty student. You don't want to learn law, you want to interrupt, but definitely you are a very curious student. So let me satisfy your curiosity, but you'll have to be a little patient, okay? Please. So I'm telling you the law. If there is no stay order, when a person moves the tribunal or a court, the authorities can very well take action. It is in accordance with law, number one. Two, I was giving you instances. Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, in the National Herald case, went up to the Supreme Court to get the proceedings quashed. They are corrupt, proceedings not quashed. Was this during elections? The answer is no. In the liquor scam, Manish Sisodia is in jail for the last 1 year. Bail not granted. He went up to the Supreme Court proceeding. His petition dismissed. Sanjay Singh, bail not granted. Abhishek Banerjee went up to the Supreme Court saying political vendetta. Did he get any relief? Was the charge quashed? No. Partha Chatterjee, not granted bail. Petition not granted. Now what am I trying to say? It's very easy to allege political vendetta. I can say Rajdeep is a corrupt man. Rajdeep is taking bribes from opposition political parties. But is that enough? No. Rajdeep, it's not enough. I have to prove my charge. So if the opposition makes the charge that this is a case of political vendetta, they will have to prove it in the court of law. And
your point is well taken. Mr. Bhatia, I've given you ample time. You made a powerful... 1 minute, sir.
No, I have one more.
Yes.
I have one more comment to make.
Yes.
A very interesting one. It's a challenge on India Today on your program. I think it would be a big news now. I challenge the Congress spokesperson to show me one judgment of the Supreme Court or the High Court where they have alleged political vendetta and the petition has been allowed and the charge has been quashed.
Okay, you made your time is up, producer. Let's move on to Shama Mohammed. Shama Mohammed, direct question is being made to you by Gaurav Bhatia. When you all allege political vendetta, be it in the IT penalties case or indeed Satyapal Malik being now searched or previous cases, the BJP is saying go to a court of law and get the case quashed. If that doesn't happen, how can you blame the BJP or the Modi government?
Yeah, so Rajdeep, this is about timing and choices. We have to understand that. They keep saying go to the court of law. How does court of law function? With whatever they get from the police, from the CBI, from the ED. You have to understand that. That's how the court works. Court is not God. He cannot take this court route. Look at the timing and look at the choices. This is, like you mentioned, a case of 2017-18 where the filing was delayed by 45 days for around 14 lakhs. Now they come all of a sudden when elections are on 14th of February, goes to these accounts and say, we want 210 crores from the bank. Since there wasn't enough of that money, they freeze the account and then we go to the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. And the case was supposed to be heard on the 21st, that is today. Now, what do? On the 20th, they go to these banks and take away 65.8 crores of our money. So where have we heard something like this? I mean, first and foremost, as you know, a party does not pay the income tax, but we have to file the returns. And I agree. So it's a timing. If you look at it, suddenly Jharkhand Chief Minister behind bars, they go after him. Then you see Farooq Abdullah, ED goes to him. Then you're hearing today Satyapal Malik. And let's look at the elections. West Bengal Assembly elections, they were after all the people of Mamata Banerjee. Rajasthan election, they were after Ashok Gehlot's aides, the ED. Then during Chhattisgarh election, Bhupesh Bagel's aides. We remember Rajya Sabha time of Karnataka after DK Shivkumar. So this is a pattern. I fail to understand why do they go after what happened to Vyapam? Close. Pratap Sarnaik in 2022, ED was after him in March 2022. By September 2022, Economic Affairs Wing says the case is closed. Why? Because he joined the Shiv Sena part, which formed the alliance with the BJP.
So you're saying your focus is on the timing and the choices.
Places. So let me finish.
The timing. You're saying the timing.
And one more thing. Let me add one last. No, 1 minute. No, let me also add one more point. There are 47,940 income cases in the Income Tax Tribunal right now. How many of these accounts have been frozen? I want to ask Gaurav Bhatia. How many of your money has been just gone and taken? Even for example, let's look at the case of corporate fraud here. How many of their accounts have been frozen? For example, the case of Vijay Mallya. When was his house taken? When it was said he's absconding. not before the tribunal. The tribunal has not even come out with what we have done wrong. For example, the income tax appellate tribunal. The action taken on Vijay Mallya was after he said he was absconding. Let's understand that. Before that, there are so many corporate tax frauds. Why are they not taking action? And also, in their budget, they clearly said ease of dispute and simplification is what we want in their last 3 budgets. All right. So why don't they do this? Why this sort of terrorism?
Okay,
This is called
ma'am,
financial
I've listened
terrorism.
to you also
and since
patiently.
the electoral bonds
Ma'am,
have become
I've listened
illegal,
to you patiently.
One second, illegal.
No, ma'am, you
when
cannot
the
do.
electoral bonds
I
have
have
become
listened to
illegal,
you patiently.
They have come after us.
I have listened to you patiently. I've listened to Mr. Bhatia patiently. Jaiprakash Narayan has listened to both of you patiently. Jaiprakash Narayan, I get a sense that clearly Shama Mohammed has a point when she says there's a pattern. That whenever there is a state election, whether it's Gehlot in Rajasthan and his family, Mamta Banerjee in Bengal and her family, whether now it's KCR at times, it's Arvind Kejriwal, it's Congress leaders, the ED, CBI, IT are being used to target them as per a pattern. However, Gaurav Bhatia also has a point that then why are none of these cases being quashed by the courts? Is the truth as always somewhere in between therefore?
Rajdeep, let me separate the 2 issues. One, about action against a political party. 2, against individuals under the laws of the land. First, let me take the party issue. I think these are 2 qualitatively different issues. Technically, legally, the constitution or the laws do not distinguish between a political party and other organizations. They come broadly under Article 19(1)(c). Like any other society, a party is. But in reality, a political party is a very serious affair. It enjoys the confidence of lakhs of people. It is a reflection of the social coalition that they're able to mobilize. And it has a history, and it reflects the dreams and aspirations of people for decades. Therefore, if you view it technically and legally, in a very legalistic manner, and then go after political parties as if they're like any other organization, it is not wise in a democracy. I am absolutely firm about it. Doesn't matter which party it is. Parties are, first of all,
So are
exempt
you
from
saying
taxation.
prima facie in the way the IT penalties are being imposed on the Congress party at the moment while the matter was before the tribunal and the accounts are being allegedly frozen, prima facie it stands up out as a witch hunt?
I don't call it witch hunt because I don't know if there's a political direction or not. It certainly speaks of the overzealousness of the officials. Let me complete the point. If parties do not feel free to articulate their point of view and compete in the marketplace of politics, then democracy will be definitely undermined. We are delegitimizing the political process. You fight no holds barred in the bar of the public opinion. But when the party is legally exempt from taxation, and in 2003, I was actually part of the process to create a law whereby even the donations are tax exempt, to now use some archaic provision. Not true, there may be a technical violation because there's a delay in the filing of returns. But when the party is a political party, legally you may not recognize it as a superior entity, but actually it's a superior entity. That means the party must be given some privileges. The party also must accept some obligations. Obligations being transparency, obligations being completely open about the kind of policies they take up, the kind of expenditure they would like to propose, etc., etc. Equally, the parties must have the privilege to be able to do their thing without any interference.
So is it creating, Jaiprakash Narayan, a situation where there is no level playing field? If I'm an opposition party and my accounts are frozen, prima facie it appears there's no level playing field.
I hope the authorities will realize and unfreeze their accounts. I fervently hope as a friend of the political process and democracy of the country, without any partisan motive. And if that does not happen, I actually think that the ruling party will be at a disadvantage in the bar of public opinion.
Okay,
because there's no advantage in this.
Let me take that.
By taking away 65 crores of the legal money, let me complete this point, Rajdeep.
Yes.
By taking away 65 crores of legal money, accounted money, you're not changing the electoral fortunes, I can guarantee you. Because the real money spent is about 20 to 30 times, mostly unaccounted. So it doesn't really affect the outcome, but it certainly affects the perception of the people. It's not in the interest of the party in power.
Okay, Gaurav Bhatia, respond to that. You know, a political party ahead of the election, when you go ahead or the income tax department goes ahead, freezes account, I mean, the public है ये सब जानती है. 2018-19 matter, 45 days late in filing returns. Suddenly you say, no, immediately 65 crores has to be frozen. Either it's an overzealous tax officer or he's a tax officer working under instructions. Like the Chandigarh presiding officer apparently was working under some instruction.
So Rajdeep, freezing of the account is not sudden, but you taking this stand might be because of a sudden call to you. I don't know. But casting aspersions using irresponsible language, the nation watches. When the Congress spokesperson says court is not God, but Supreme Court is final. Yes, we all know for the Congress leaders and the workers, Sonia Gandhi is the goddess you worship, Rahul Gandhi is the god. But for a common citizen, for the Bharatiya Janata Party, the judiciary of the country is sacrosanct, and I asked you a very pointed question. I did not get any reply. Second, with utmost respect to the political analyst, when he said the accounted money of the Congress party has been seized or the account has been frozen, very respectfully I'll tell him that he would definitely have faith in the ITAT, he would definitely have faith in the courts of the country. Say if the accounts have been wrongly frozen. Rajdeep, there are superior courts in the country. They are constitutional courts. Why doesn't the Congress go there and then file a petition? But the reality is, we all remember during the UPA era, this very CBI, which is independent now, was called a cage parrot not by you or me, but by the Honorable Supreme Court. Do you know why? In the Colgate scam, a status report was to be filed and the CBI director was called by the law minister then and the report was changed. Such was the nature. And regarding political vendetta, Congress crime foul, Samajwadi Party, Mulayam Singh Yadav, Akhilesh Yadav, they allege that a false case was instituted against them. Bahujan Samaj Party, same thing, Taj Corridor. DMK, Karunanidhi, also complained of the same
what
thing.
was done in the past
Narendra
is
Modi ji.
let's forget the what about me for a moment.
Do not disturb me.
No. The fact is you made your point. I have given you uninterrupted time. Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, the other side, I have limited time, must also respond.
I have not
Shama
made my
Mohammed,
point.
please
Please
respond.
allow me 30 seconds.
Fader down. Shama Mohammed, respond to Gaurav Bhatia. Gaurav Bhatia is making the point again and again. Do you have faith in the courts or not? If you feel that this entire IT penalty, for example, has been wrongfully, has led to wrongful freezing of your accounts, the IT tribunal will eventually pass an order in your favor. Wait, be patient is what the BJP is suggesting. Why is every time there's a raid or a search, you immediately say Modi government is involved?
So, Rajdeep, first and foremost, he's having midnight or I don't know, early morning or night hallucinations. I never said court is not God or something like that, what he said. What I'm trying to say is that the court acts on what evidence is given or whatever happens and how the ED, now for example, the ED has the power to close certain cases. Like I gave the example of Pratap Sarnaik. The Economics Affairs Wing closed the case, so the case stops. So what he's saying is that what I'm asking him a counter question, when the appellate tribunal is supposed to give a judgment on the 21st, why did these income tax officers aggressively go there and take out 65 crores of our money, in which the NSUI, the Youth Congress, I know how I have seen it in Kerala, how the Youth Congress, for getting the membership, they give money. These are all accounted money. It is not like the electoral bonds in which they changed the Finance Act of 2017, in that they have changed the RBI Act, the Corporate Act, the Income Tax Act, a number of acts for what? To get unlimited illegal money from shell companies. Never in the history of India, and anonymous money from shell companies. Never in the history of India something has happened. Let me tell you, Rajdeep Sardesai, the biggest scam in the history of India is the electoral bond scam. And one last thing, he keeps saying about coal scam. Tell me, who is the political leader convicted in the Congress party? You say coal scam, you say 2G. I will tell you, your Yedurappa has been convicted, not any of my leaders.
I will answer
so how can he call the Congress scam? And who got the
can I stop you? As I said,
by us to
Okay.
get people. And you even kept the electoral bonds out of the RTI. You kept the electoral bonds out of the RTI because
Electoral
that is the
bonds
biggest scam
will come
in the
up on the
history of India.
13th of
And
March
we
when
will
they are supposed to be
prosecute you for
revealed.
that.
But Jaiprakash Narayan, as a final point, does it worry you? You said, for example, that we need to make a distinction between individuals who
No,
are being prosecuted
Rajdeep, can I just
and a
add
political
10
party.
second
Just a
line?
minute, sir.
Rajdeep, I have a 10-second objection.
Yeah, okay, you are 10 seconds.
I
Please
have
stick
an
to the
objection.
time.
I have an objection.
Yes.
Yes.
No, then I
Yes.
also want
I'll
to speak.
take 8
We
seconds.
can't-
Yes, go ahead.
You have an analyst.
Go ahead.
Yes, you have an analyst on the panel and you have Shama Mohammed. The analyst has views which are against the government.
Not at
So
all.
I'm not getting equal time, but you are my dear friend and I
Not
know
at
you
all.
for your,
It is against your,
fairness.
your witch
So go
hunting.
ahead.
You are doing political witch hunt.
Don't shout. Madam,
That's
don't
what
shout.
Okay,
it- no, this
1
is
minute.
one
Put
thing.
Shama's
You
fader
know
down.
that-
None of
Put
your
Shama's
arguments
fader
actually
down.
had any
Gaurav
substance
Bhatia,
on it.
do you have 10 seconds? I'm giving you 10 seconds. Please tell me what your point is. What is your objection to what Shama Mohammed just said?
Thank you.
I'm giving you 10 seconds. What is your objection?
Yeah, my first objection, and you can ask any lawyer worth his salt, is when a judgment is reserved, how do they know when would it be delivered? And if they are aggrieved even by non-delivery of a reserved judgment, they can move the higher court. My second point is
So
Dheeraj
the
Sahu,
process is the
352
punishment.
crores.
The
Cash.
process,
Congress
the
MP,
process is the
seized.
punishment. You constantly hound a person and the process becomes the punishment. Satyapal Malik,
You know
at the
nothing
age of
about
80,
the law
suddenly
and the
finds
process.
searches at his house.
Rajdeep, you must meet me over a cup of tea. I will teach you some law.
Sir, I am
I
also
will
a law
teach you
graduate.
some
I'm
law.
more than happy to meet you
Please
over a
do
cup
meet
of
me
tea and
over
we
a
can
cup of
discuss
tea.
the law. Let's not. I asked you,
Yes,
you
you
keep
should.
going back to
You
the
know
process.
nothing
The
about law
process
and
can become the
procedure.
punishment in
So
this
don't
country.
rant here.
That is the reality.
Don't
Let's leave it
mislead
there.
the viewers of India today.
Okay, I've
Viewers
heard
today
you.
are very smart, Rajdeep.
Okay,
My
I've heard
friend.
you. I've heard Shama Mohammed. I've heard Jaiprakash
Thank you.
Narayan. I must move
Thank
on.
you.
Clearly, as I keep saying, the process cannot become the punishment as it seems to have become in the country at the moment. And that is what should worry us. Forget about an individual. Look at the larger political systems in the country. If agencies are allowed to target a political party on IT penalties while the matter is before an IT tribunal. Thank you all very much for joining me on the show today. Let me turn from there to the story that is equally troubling. The death of a young farmer named Shajahan Singh at the Punjab border has become the new flashpoint for the farmers' protest. While the farmers have put on hold their march for 2 days, the opposition now is gunning for the Modi government, condemning the alleged brutal use of force against the farmers. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann has already ordered a probe. The centre is attempting to reach out to the farmers once again. What really happened to this young farmer? That's the big question.
The death of a 22-year-old farmer has become the latest flashpoint in the farmers' protest. Agitating farmers claim that Shajahan Singh died during a clash with police on the Punjab-Haryana border as protesters resumed their Delhi Chalo agitation on Wednesday.
शाजाहान सिंह हैं और वो उनकी उम्र 23 साल है। अल्लो उनका गांव है। उनके सर पे ऊपर गोली लगी है तो और 3 और गंभीर जख्मी थे। तो इस तरह की फिर सिचुएशन में वार्ता जारी रखना मुझे नहीं लगता था कि हम सफल हो पाएंगे। ये सरकार का जो चेहरा है पूरी देश दुनिया देख रही है।
Shajahan, a resident of Balok village in Bhatinda, is survived by 2 sisters, grandmother and his father, who works as a school van driver. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann claims an FIR will be filed after the post-mortem and all responsible will be held accountable.
ਪਰਚਾ ਵੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਪੋਸਟਮਾਰਟਮ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਪਰਚਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਾਂਚ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਧਿਕਾਰੀ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਦਾਰ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੁਭ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਮੌਤ ਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਖਤ ਤੋਂ ਸਖਤ ਕਾਰਵਾਈ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਹਮਣਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਊਗਾ।
Akali Dal leader Sukhbir Singh Badal condemned the police action against farmers.
ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਚਲਾਉਣੀਆਂ ਰਬੜ ਬੁਲੇਟਸ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੈਟਿਕ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਹਾਂ ਹਰ ਵਰਗ ਨੂੰ ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੇਸੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੱਕ ਹੈ ਆਪਣਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਸਟ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ।
Rejecting allegation leveled by the farmers, Haryana police claim that 12 of its officials were severely injured in the clash at Kanori border, but they did not confirm how the young farmer died.
पंजाब में
In a bid to ease tensions, the Narendra Modi government has once offered a fifth round of talks, emphasizing the need of a peaceful resolution to the protest for legally mandated MSP for 23 crops.
पंजाब में किसान संगठनों के साथ किसानों के मसले पर कई दौर की बातचीत हुई है और अभी भी हम बातचीत के लिए किसान संगठनों से कहा है कि इसका समाधान बातचीत के माध्यम से हम निकालेंगे.
With Kamaljeet Sandhu, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's take a break at this point. When we return, we'll turn to our special guest tonight. I'll be joined by the West Bengal governor, even as the BJP ups the ante against the Mamata Banerjee government on Sandeshkhali, releases a documentary, demands the arrest of absconding TMC Neta, Shajahan Sheikh. That's on the other side. You're watching the news today. News without the noise.
Business Today salutes India's finest corporate achievers. We celebrate innovative strategies for resilient and sustainable businesses in a fast-changing world. From mid-sized to unicorns, from new entries to lifetime achievement awards, be a part of an event where excellence meets inspiration. Join us in honoring the trailblazing titans of India Inc. at Business Today Mind Rush and the Best CEO Awards.
Welcome back. Our other top story where horror tales have continued to emerge from West Bengal's Sandeshkhali. A mother in Sandeshkhali has come out seeking justice for her missing daughter. She alleges her daughter was a victim of a human trafficking network. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes members had visited the violence-hit village, say they've received 30 complaints, and many of them implicating the alleged kingpin, Shajahan Sheikh. The BJP has released a documentary titled Sandeshkhali Shocker, and TMC members, including Shajahan Sheikh, find themselves being named there. Where does all this lead? I'm joined now by CV Ananda Bose. He is the West Bengal governor, joins me for this special interview. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Bose. My first question, rather direct. Do you believe, in your view, and you've gone to the ground in Sandeshkhali, do you believe that President's rule should be imposed there as statutory bodies like NCW, the Commission for Scheduled Castes, Scheduled Tribes are demanding, indeed opposition leaders are demanding? Is the situation in Sandeshkhali grave enough to demand President's rule, sir?
As governor, I reserve my comments on that. I am observing, analyzing, understanding. I will certainly keep all the options open. Now what is important is to bring back normalcy to the place and give protection to the women there. That is my priority now.
Sir, but I must push you a bit more on that. You're saying here you're keeping all your options open. Is one of those options President's rule? Because you have sent a report to the Home Ministry. Can you give us a sense of what your report says is about? What is your view, sir, on those who are demanding President's rule in West Bengal?
My report to the Home Ministry I would like to keep it confidential. That is how it should be. I have given certain suggestions there based on constitutional proprieties and democratic proprieties. Now, my focus is to ensure that the law take its course. I have taken up my issues with proper suggestions, specific suggestions, with my constitutional colleague, the Chief Minister. Some action is now afoot. I should give some chance to see what is the fruit of the actions which are already now taking place. The officers have been deputed to look into the incidents in depth and take appropriate action. I'm watching.
So you're saying you're watching, you're saying you're speaking to the Chief Minister, but do you believe that the Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee, has done enough? The Chief Minister claims her government has arrested 18 people, including 2 of the prime culprits. There's a fact-finding team on the ground, and all-women's police team has been deputed to Sandeshkhali. Do you believe the West Bengal government and Mamata Banerjee in particular has done enough on Sandeshkhali, or is it a blot on her record?
In all fairness, I should give a fair chance to the government to take action. But one thing I can specifically tell you, arrest of the prime accused, Shajahan Sheikh, is a must. I have written it to the government. The other day, Honorable High Court of Calcutta has also made it clear, or reported that they have made it clear that the arrest is required. I insist on the arrest of the prime accused. Rest of the action taken by the government, I am watching. Let me not, say anything which will lead to losing their morale. Let the officers take their action, but I still insist, unless the prime accused is arrested, public confidence cannot be regained.
So you're saying the arrest is a must, but do you believe that Shajahan Sheikh, and this is the critical question, is being protected by Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress leadership, that because he belongs to the Trinamool Congress, he is being protected by the Chief Minister?
I view this only as a case of crime and punishment. I do not want to drag in politics here. That's not within my purview. The culprit has to be arrested. I'm very focused on that, whether he has political connections or not.
Sir, but it is a political question which I want to reiterate. Here is someone who has been absconding, Shajahan Sheikh, since early January. When enforcement team went to Sandeshkhali in early January, his supporters did not allow the enforcement directorate to act against him. Do you believe that Shajahan Sheikh, because of his political connections in the Trinamool Congress, is being protected, sir?
I can only say the situation is murky, and it is becoming murkier and murkier. I do not want to allege that anybody is protecting him. Fact remains that the culprit is still at large, which does not augur well for anybody. This does not bring credit to anybody down the line. He has to be arrested.
Mr. Governor, you went to Sandeshkhali. You spoke to many of the women who were allegedly harassed, tortured. Their testimonies have come out on camera. And you said when you were there, what I saw was ghastly, shocking, shattering to my senses. Do you believe, therefore, that the women of Sandeshkhali have not got justice and you will not rest till they get justice? Is it only about Shajahan Sheikh, or ensuring that these women who allege torture and sexual harassment get justice in the end?
My concern is for the women who have been tortured. They should be given justice. The booking of the culprit is certainly required, but that is not the be-all and end-all. The be-all and end-all is to see that such things will not repeat in society, and the culprit has to be booked, and the harassed women have to be given justice. They want peace. They want peace with honor. Now their honor is in pieces. That is a situation which you see in that place. That cannot continue.
How do you respond, though, Mr. Governor, when Trinamool Congress in particular, a section of the Trinamool Congress leadership says the governor of Bengal is playing politics? The governor meets a representation from the BJP, immediately rushes to Sandeshkhali, when there is an incident in Chopra in North Dinajpur where 4 little boys died, you did not go there, but you rushed to Sandeshkhali. That a constitutional functionary like you, the governor, is being used to target the Mamata Banerjee government.
Let me put the record straight. I did go to Chopra. I went there. I went from house to house. I met the dear and near ones of the children who died. I gave them financial support. This happened the other day. It's not correct to say that I went only to Sandeshkhali and not to Chopra. I went to both places.
No, the charge, Mr. Governor, is you rushed to Sandeshkhali immediately after the BJP delegation met you. You went to Chopra much later after the Trinamool Congress raised the red flag. I'm only asking you this because you are being accused almost of acting as a BJP agent by the Trinamool Congress and as a having double standards. How do you respond when a constitutional functionary is targeted like this by a political party?
If I can go on a lighter vein, to go to Chopra the very next day, I asked for the state helicopter, which was not given. So I had to go by train. The train in Bengal is not as fast as the chopper. Therefore, it took me some time to reach Chopra. I did go there as fast I could.
So may I ask you, Mr. Governor, how you look at the overall law and order situation in West Bengal today? The opposition is claiming there is a breakdown in law and order, that Mamata Banerjee's police is not acting swiftly, that there is an atmosphere of fear in areas like Sandeshkhali. How do you respond to those who say there's a breakdown and the police is not doing enough to protect people? How do you respond to that?
In my opinion, in some pockets at least of Bengal, there are symptoms of a soft state. That is, the law is there, but the law is not enforced properly. It's a situation in some places like what we can describe poetically as things fall apart, the center cannot hold. This is not about the entire Bengal, but in certain pockets, which have become the fiefdom of the gangsters. That is a position, that's a position here, and that is a serious situation. They have to be exterminated. The goons who take the law in their hands and threaten the people, they should be brought to book. That part is slightly missing here. I do not share that Bengal is becoming a banana republic, but in some places, some pockets at least, the goons have an upper hand, which does not augur well for any civilized society. The democratic government has to act firmly and act fast.
Are these goons, Mr. Governor, in your view, being protected again by the Mamata Banerjee government because some of them are being linked to the Trinamool Congress? Are they, in your view, members of the TMC and therefore being protected?
I am not able, nor am I competent, to make a political assessment at this stage. Let me confine myself to the role of a governor. My duty is to protect the people within the constitution and the law. That is what I am trying to do. Political disturbances and political confusions are not part of my cup of tea.
So let me ask you whether something else is part of your cup of tea. The West Bengal police has accused BJP leader of the opposition in the Bengal Assembly, Shuvendu Adhikari, of calling a Sikh IPS officer Khalistani. This has led to strong reactions amongst people. They've accused the BJP of playing divisive politics. The TMC has accused them. How do you respond to what you heard? That a Sikh IPS officer himself has alleged he was called a Khalistani by the leader of the opposition in Bengal.
I do not want to enter into a political controversy, but one thing I made it very clear to the representatives of the Sikh community who met me. Bengal is a place of Rabindranath Tagore. In his salutation to the nation in the national anthem, it begins with Punjab. Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maratha. In Bengal, nothing should be done, nothing should be heard which affects the sentiments of the great people of Punjab. Certainly, the state will respect the people, our brothers and sisters of Punjab. I consider them. See, the Jawans of Punjab, they defend our borders. The Kisans of Punjab, they feed the nation. The nation is indebted to them. We respect them, Bengal respects them, India respects them. We'll all be with the people, the brethren of Punjab.
I'm happy to hear those words, sir, but my final question to you, sir. Are you worried that Sandeshkhali, particularly in this election year, big election year, has got caught in the extreme ugly politics of this country? And if it has been, what is your advice to both Mamata Banerjee and to the opposition?
My advice to all concerned, not only to my esteemed constitutional colleague, the Chief Minister, this is a time when all of us should talk less and work more. Do whatever is required to re-establish normalcy in the place and protect the children, protect the women folk. Don't make political gain out of this.
But you are assuring, Mr. Governor, the women of Sandeshkhali, those who you met, those who've come out with these testimonies, that you as the Governor of West Bengal will ensure that they get justice. Am I correct, sir?
I will be with them. Certainly, whatever is possible within the powers of the governor will be done to see that the women are protected. It is a right to live in peace, and they will live in peace. I am with them with all my humble abilities to be with them by their side.
Mr. Governor, you've spoken out. You've given us several important news points on this big story. I appreciate Ananda Bose joining me here from Kolkata on the news today. Thank you so much. Okay, we've run out of time on the show. I want to leave you with two images of the day, both happier images. First, Vamshi Krishna of Andhra Pradesh is the latest addition to the list of Indian batters hitting 6 sixes in 6 balls. He achieved the feat in a CK Naidu Trophy Under-23 match. Take a look at this young man who hit those 6 sixes to carve a slice of history. Okay, and that was the 6-6 that he hit. But I want to leave you with someone who is well above just hitting 6 sixes. He's been iconic, and he is our image of the day because the video shared by cricket legend Sachin Tendulkar playing cricket with locals in Kashmir has gone viral. The cricketer visited Kashmir with his wife Anjali